За дараагийн илтгэлд оръё. Дараагийн илтгэл AWS Senior Solutions Architect Igor илтгэлийг хэдүүлээ хүлээж авъя.
Hello. Thank you for having me today. So my name is Egor Miasnikov. I am solutions architect at AWS, and the first time in Mongolia. It's pleasure to be there, here, not there, here. Yeah. So today I'm going to talk about general AI, and would like to ask you, who knows what is general AI itself? Okay. I see a couple of, yeah, great. All right, so currently machine learning is growing fast because we have a lot of data, and we have sophisticated models which are already trained by big companies, and we have a lot of stuff to do around machine learning, right? And let's imagine the story. So we have like a publishing company which own a magazine, and this is the popular magazine across the globe. And inside this magazine provide information about the creative community. For example, painters or digital nomads or scientists who works around on the age of scientists, right? And the magazine every month trying to create the creative cover for this magazine. And they have a dedicated team which consist of marketing lead, creative designer, creative lead, creative manager, product manager, and community ambassador. And they are going to mirror boards which are starting collaborate and generate ideas what they need to put on the cover. And after that, they generate all these ideas, and they are provide these ideas to design lead. Design lead needs to generate cover, and working covers a couple of examples, and starting and provide these covers to creative team to get it in the work, and after approve it for the covers on the month. But our designer is frustrating sometimes, because every month he needs to generate or reinvent the covers, and they need to be really creative. And likely our designer have a friend who are machine learning specialists, and when they go to the coffee or on the lunches, our machine learning specialists always say that, hey, we have a lot of hype around machine learning, and maybe you can take a look on the machine learning here, and machine learning can help you to generate some content for that. So this is like starting point for that. All right, and he proposed to use generative AI for that. And what is generative AI in this case? What is generative AI? So generative AI, this is all the stuff which can be generated. For example, you trying to generate topics for the questions for this community day, right? For Kahoot. And you have a lot of information there, and you put some stuff to the model, and say, hey, generate me the 10 questions for this topic. And we get the 10 questions, and after that you need to answer them. And currently, all these things can be generated. So you can ask generate the doc, and example like generate me the image of the doc, and it's for sure try to generate it. But itself, this is like part of artificial intelligence. So for artificial intelligence, we have machine learning. For machine learning, we have deep learning. So deep learning, it's like machine learning, but using the multi-layer of neural networks. And yeah, thank you very much. So a lot of generation stuff on the table, yeah. And after we have a generative AI, which are help us to use neural networking to generate a lot of stuff around the real world, like a table and the water. And now we have a lot of use cases where you can use it. For example, you are building the chatbot, and the chatbot going to be like a human when your end user ask the questions to chatbot, and your chatbot needs to answer as a user, as a real human. And currently it's worked. Yeah, and currently it's work. And in our case, we are putting all the stuff which we have which we have around us, like pictures, text, books, and put it inside the model. And model can help you with the number of tasks. For example, summarizing. When you are reading a lot of text, but you currently don't need to read a lot of text, right? You need get this text, put on the model, and get summarization of this text for you just for fast reading. And examples. Yes, and examples. As I said, you have a text, and this model can generate text. For example, ChatGPT, right? So who knows ChatGPT? Oh, okay, guys. So generative AI is ChatGPT, so yeah, to map it. And pictures as well. And the challenges is currently that we have three types of models. The first one is a model which are proprietary. So this model trained by companies, and they don't provide you an access for this model. So you can't get this model, deploy, for example, or you on your AWS account and use it like a application. They provide API for these models and opportunity to use it, and you need to pay for this API. The second one is open sourced. So many companies currently starting doing the open source models which you can get and improve it and deploy on your AWS account, for example, and run it for your application in secure environment. Or of course you can do it by yourself, so you can get a lot of data and create the model. But the problem is that is very expensive, and I think for the big models, it's not so good idea. And the good thing that some proprietary model provide you fine-tuning. Fine-tuning is when you are getting your data, provide to the model, and you can train on top of model with your data, and after use this data to using in your application. So this model will or going to use and going to know your data and properly answer on specific questions which you are asking, for example. This is if this is like a large language model. But currently for this demo, I'm going to the easiest path. We are starting and create a generative AI for a couple of clicks. And how we can do that? So AWS provide the service. It's called SageMaker Jumpstart, which allow you to go through the number of models where you can choose your use case and starting using this model, like deploying it in the endpoint, and after using it is API, but inside your account. You can use for that SageMaker Studio, or you can add your notebook, which can connect it to the Hugging Face Hub, for example, which provide you storing for these models, or using SageMaker. And the thing is that you can very fast adding generative AI capabilities in your application, and after just building the application and test it on your users, and after improve it. So this is help you to improve user experience of your application, and if it works for your users, you can improve these models to use on your users. And let's take a look on a demo. So our machine learning specialist proposed to our designer using these generative AI models, but he don't have any more time for building the real product, and they are trying to set up the POC to help to generate something for them inside the brainstorming session. All right, and we have demo. So we are currently in the Miro site where we have demoing, right? Currently, we need to go in our SageMaker studio, which provide us to deploy easily our some machine learning models, which are included in our hub. So currently, we are using the Stable Diffusion, which allow you to generate the pictures. There is a number of options to deploy, so you can choose the instance type, and here you just put the button of deploy, and it's starting deploying. So it's deploying for 5 or 10 minutes, and after SageMaker endpoint show you that you have a number of models, and you have already in creation currently the endpoint inside the SageMaker, which provide you API for using this model. While we still waiting for deployment, we need to create Lambda for integration, because Lambda, you need to use Lambda for integration because endpoints not publicly available, so you need to do integration point for that. So this is like proxy. In this case, we are creating Lambda based on Python, and do some stuff to reach from our application this Lambda and getting the generated image. I prepare some hacky stuff for getting that. So you need to add some headers, a log course, because we are starting reaching this Lambda from the Miro. All right, so this is headers for our Lambda, and we need to increase our timeout for Lambda because generated images take time. So we need to increase this. So in my case, this is like 30 seconds. And currently, we are getting some code. So this is like 25 lines of code. Here we get the response from the front end, get the prompt. Prompt, this is our string with the number of things which we need to generate. After that, we call SageMaker with endpoint. So we put endpoint name inside the AWS CDK. So Bota3, this is AWS CDK for Python. And after that, it's call our endpoint and get generated image. Generated image, yeah, so after test. So let's go to test, and test help us to see that our integration works fine, and we see that we have from the SageMaker endpoint. So we take a look that our currently deployed. Yeah, it's deployed in servers. All right, So currently we're testing. So testing, we get the response. This is the array of arrays of the pixels. So here you have three numbers. This is RGB by the number. So R, G, and B, right? And if, each pixel is described by like 3 colors. All right, so now we need to do front end for that. And for front end, I use Glitch. This is like a lightweight service where you can just put index.html, JavaScript, and you get the hosting, like simple hosting. Just for free, good for testing. So this is the sample HTML where we just add Mirror SDK and use it inside the JavaScript. So we are copying our function URL, putting it inside the front end. Inside the front end, we are using Mirror SDK to get the stickers. On the stickers, we have brainstorming ideas from the multiple users. And after we are getting this information, putting inside the string, and sent on the backend. So inside our function. Yeah, so we are sending in our backend and after getting the response. So as I mentioned, in the test, we are getting response. This is like pixel, numbers of pixels for the colors, so we need to put it. We use canvas object for building our image and put this image on the board. Yeah, so we use this function to run it inside the Mirror application. We copy our endpoint DNS record for this website and go to the Mirror to create application for that. And for application, you need to create the dev team, and inside the dev team, you can create the application. So we create the application and adding our web to the as application URL. Save it, adding some permissions for our application, and install it inside our team. And yeah, so we back to the board. And currently, your application already installed here. Since this is not in marketplace, we need to use a developer team to test it. And we select all the stickers for the brainstorming and ask the generate our picture. Yeah, and we have something like that. All right. And yes, so this is it from my side. So feel free to join AWS services. Stay tuned on what we have and what we do from the generative AI thing. And one more thing. If you have any question.
We'll take 3 questions. You can ask them on
No, yeah, so currently we have like slides from our account manager. It's Almaz.
Hello, everyone. We've met in the beginning. Yeah, my contacts, you can scan the QR code. It's going to mail to option, but I have a mobile phone with Telegram, WhatsApp, and etc. So yeah, you can contact me in case of if you have any projects or any idea or task and would like to test it using services of AWS. We have an option, different options how support you to put your hands to AWS and test it for free, like for the pilot projects, for proof of concept project, and also about contacting me, we have some break sessions today or networking sessions, and please feel free to reach out me, and we can in person discuss about your projects. And if it's full of technical questions, or you already know your architecture, or need support from our side, we have Igor as well from technical side to support the questions and proceed further. So feel free. We're here to help you. We're here to help you and support to start your project using AWS services like ML and AI presented by Igor, for instance.
Almost gets more applause than me. All right, thank you guys. Questions?
За түрүү хэлжсэнчлэн адилхан 3 асуулт авъя. Монголоор асууж болно.
Okay, thank you for your perfect presentation, and I would like to ask 2 questions in this given matter. So first, you have said that this SageMaker Jumpstart supports the generative AI, right? So in demo, you showed that it works with the stable diffusion, right? But recently, there are a lot of new models are getting open sourcely getting deployed, right? It's like Llama or Bark or a lot of things. So can I integrate the big large language models or new generator models to in this Jumpstart? Not only stable diffusion. What about the audio, also all text models? What about it?
Yeah, so we are adding, so Jumpstart, this is like Bootstrap for the models. Currently, our team, which support the Jumpstart, they are providing the starting deployment scripts for the models. And they are appear inside the tab which I show you on the presentation. Actually, Hugging Face is our partner, so you can use any Hugging Face model which are lying on the Hugging Face hub to run it inside the SageMaker.
Oh, okay, thank you.
And you can actually put your model in S3 and using SageMaker notebooks deploy it as well for endpoints.
Okay. This sounds nice. And just one more question.
Yes.
So you mentioned about fine-tuning, right?
Yes.
So in this case, can I fine-tune my own data or things using AWS? Because currently we have to, develop such a different infrastructure or different things to do that. But does AWS is going to support fine-tuning to make it more applicable or user-friendly in the future?
Yeah, for sure. So SageMaker, this is our integrated, place for from the zero to production AI/ML capabilities. So you can use SageMaker for that to run tests, prepare your data, and deploy it on the SageMaker endpoints or Kubernetes, for example, if you use Kubernetes. And you also can fine-tune your models and models which you can bring with you on the S3, for example. Here on the SageMaker Jumpstart, you can go through the models, and some models support fine-tuning, some not, right? So we have some partners who provide the proprietary models which are not fine-tuning, so they are training by themselves, and you can just using it inside your secure environment. But for example, stable diffusion you can fine-tune. So this is like base model which can be fine-tuned by your pictures, for example.
Okay, that clarifies. Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Thank you, Igor, for presentation. I have just a question out of my curiosity on the icon in your first part of the presentation, where you on a deep learning icon. So it's the metrics of the consciousness, which is known as a Kabbalah tree. So is it actually Amazon is using this concept to develop the AI?
Sorry, could you repeat your question? Yeah. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
The icon is actually the symbol
yeah,
of the Kabbalah tree, right?
Okay.
So, is the Amazon actually using the concept of the metrics of the consciousness in developing AI?
Yeah. So actually, we provide the tooling for doing by yourself, so you can get the metrics for the models. And our team, when they use in the product the models, they also using metrics for the model. So I would say yes. So we use. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hello.
So I'm understanding that this new product, and I love the products that Amazon does. And I have a question. Is there any projects that is already using SageMaker already that has a use case on how they're using it?
Yeah. So currently we have all use cases inside our use case library in our AWS web page.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like not so like new product. So I think SageMaker like 2 year or 3. So Jumpstart in this case starting from last year, and currently we are bringing more partners here to simplify deployment of the model and trying to simplify all this thing to help you to run the products. So in my mind, I have a couple of customers which are using the SageMaker, and this is like great thing around the starting preparing the models, start experimenting with the models, because you can not focusing on the infrastructure, you are focusing on the models itself and the data what you have. And this is great thing for starting and experimenting on the models and trying to get the faster feedback from them. And after, if you would like to run it with this model to production, you feel free to choose. If, you can use our SageMaker endpoints, which are serverless, so you don't need to think of infrastructure from them, or just running inside the clusters of the same actually virtual machines with the GPU if you need it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.